everybody, and welcome to Later. Well, tonight I'll be talking to actor Donnie Wahlberg, who used to be a member of the New Kids on the Block singing group. Well, young male groups are extremely popular again, and some friends and I had some fun with their choreographed moves. Let's take a look. A little silly, but a lot of fun to do. Well, Donnie Wahlberg has moved on from that scene, and we're going to talk with him right after this. Don't go away.
Wait. Look. I mean, can we just talk for a minute? I keep seeing you. I mean, you know, we're bumping into each other. Just give me a minute. Come on. I'll walk you home. We'll stop and get some coffee. You owe me a coffee. Yeah. Huh?
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah. Donnie's a little eerie. Well, he's no longer a kid, and now his acting career has taken off with his pivotal role in the summer blockbuster, The Sixth Sense. Please welcome Donnie Wahlberg. Great to have you here. Congratulations on the success of the movie. You leave a lasting impression with your role in this film.
Really?
And I know we can't talk too much about it, because you got to be careful not to give too many things away, but can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, basically, I play a character who was a former patient of Bruce Willis, and probably I'm the one patient who he didn't have any success in helping, and I sort of pay him a visit in the film, and to show him the results of him not helping me. And what happens with me sort of inspires him to go out and find a patient similar to me at a similar age to when he treated me, and that is the main little boy in the film, and he goes out and sort of dedicates his life to helping this boy to make up for the mistakes he made with my character.
And that guy did a great job of acting, too, wasn't
he? He's good. Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah, great job.
Man, he's incredible.
And so do you, but I understand we don't have any footage that we can show. What's the reason for that?
See, there's rules about what you can show, and my wardrobe in the film doesn't really allow for me to be shown on any TV shows or really in the trailer or anything, because it's really not much of a wardrobe.
Just means that people who haven't seen the film yet, you have to go see him in this role. I mean, you're the thing that you remember, so it's great.
Well,
and you did a lot to prepare for this. You spent 5 weeks preparing for 1 day of work. Tell us what you did.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 2 days of work, but I basically, I just dedicated myself to the role. I mean, I was playing a character that was nothing like me. It was someone who's been suffering his whole life. You know, like he sees ghosts too. And he's done everything he can his whole life to hide and get away, including use every type of drug he could get his hands on and do whatever. And basically, for me to play this role, I couldn't just show up, you know, and coming from my current lifestyle,
right,
and just show up and try to play this role. So I had to sort of let go of things that I had. And I basically took 5 weeks and just went out and stayed in a little apartment in New York with no money, no credit cards, no food, and lost 40 pounds for the role.
Lost
and just
40 pounds?
Well, you know what it was? It was important for me to suffer.
Lost
and to
40
really,
pounds?
Yeah, 40 pounds.
Wow.
And like 30 less than I am now. So, I mean, I really didn't have anything to lose.
No.
But I lost whatever I could.
I'm sorry, but I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
You're a muscular guy, but you're not that big, so
No,
it's
I'm
like
not
40
that big.
pounds.
Yeah, I was about 30 pounds lighter than I am now.
Man.
So it was pretty dramatic. And I really didn't have to act, you know. I just showed up and
because you were that guy for 5 weeks,
Well, I became it. I mean, you know, I started out saying, well, let me lose some weight and let me look more like someone who's been on drugs for a while. But as I got into the process and really started going through it, I started to really suffer. And I would lie alone in bed at night. You know, I didn't really talk to anybody. And I sort of became one with this character and suffered in a way that made me be able to give a true performance, which the film deserved. You know, the script that I read deserved a true performance.
That is dedication. I mean, actors that are getting millions of dollars don't even do stuff to that extent. So good for you.
All right. You know,
it was obviously worth it, right?
It was worth it. It was worth it for me in ways that I can't even explain. I mean, spiritually, I mean, when you're that alone and you suffer that much, I mean, all I really had during that period was God. And my relationship with God really strengthened during that time. So.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
So the shooting day is over.
Yeah, it's over.
You don't have to be this guy anymore. What do you do?
Eat.
Eat?
Eat. Oh, man, I ate honeycombs, In-N-Out burger, Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. Man, I ate everything. Cheese steaks, yeah.
Non-stop, huh?
I ate good.
You also got a lot of notice for your role
And Famous Amos cookies.
Famous
Yeah,
Amos.
I ate a whole
Can't
box
leave those
of them.
out.
No, I ate a whole box.
Did you put on pounds pretty quick then?
Well, you know what happened? My stomach shrunk so much from not eating that. When I ate all that food, it would swell up, and my heart would, like, sort of slow down, and I would have to lay down for an hour and let the food digest. It was really, really bad. You know, they should send me some extra royalty checks.
Absolutely.
Because I suffered really bad for this thing.
Famous Amos should send you something, too, for your promo right there.
Yeah.
You also got noticed for your role in Ransom.
Yeah.
How'd you get that part?
That was the first really big film that I got. Before that, I did a little turn in a film called Bullet with Mickey Rourke and Tupac Shakur, and I mean, that was great because I got to work with those two guys, and I mean, it sort of gave me the confidence to really pursue acting. Acting had sort of pursued me with the success of New Kids on the Block. A lot of people sent me scripts and said, oh, you should do a movie, you should do a movie. And
oh, really?
Yeah, but I was working so much that I didn't have time to do that. So I did the little turn in Bullet, and that sort of inspired me, and I started auditioning like a regular actor, you know, hitting the street and getting rejected day after day after day, and finally I auditioned for Ransom, and I went through like 4 or 5 auditions. You know, they just kept bringing me back and bringing me back and bringing me back, and I didn't know why they kept bringing me back. I was like, well, they must like me, but, you know, I would be with a different guy every time. They teamed me up with someone who would play my brother, which turned out to be Liev Schreiber, but, I mean, that was just a great feeling, you know, to land that role. I mean, with Mel Gibson and Ron Howard directing it, and Gary Sinise, who's like one of the great actors of our time.
You stood out in that film, too. I remember you giving the kid food. You were the one with the soft heart.
Yeah, I was the bad guy with a soft heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Ron Howard said you were a real pro by the end of that film, too.
Well, so. it's not difficult to become a pro when you work with people of that caliber. And I've been blessed because even, you know, some of the lesser-known films that I've done, I've worked with incredible actors. I mean, I've worked with Forrest Whitaker and Ving Rhames and John Leguizamo and David Caruso and Sam Shepard. I mean, just an endless list, Vincent D'Onofrio, of fantastic actors. So even though I haven't been really well known as a actor so far, I mean, I'm just sort of like, I'm looking at it like I've been in school for the last few years, just working with the best and trying to learn from them and put it all together, you know, when my time comes.
Did they give you some advice on your work ethic, or did you just always have
well, my
that?
work ethic is solid because, you know, I mean, I've been doing it since I was 14 years old. So, I mean, you know, it's not a problem for me. I mean, I know what it's like to be unprofessional. I did that when I was a kid, and
we'll get to that later,
yeah,
Don.
I paid the price for that. So, you know, I mean, yeah, I understand the importance of being professional.
Well, you got another film that's getting critical acclaim, Southie.
Is it getting critical acclaim?
Well, you are for it, so yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing it, actually.
Great. Well, you got to fly to New York. I don't know if it's going to be released in Los Angeles.
Oh, you don't think so? I heard in September.
Well, it's coming out in New York on September 17th, I think. Is it 17th?
Okay.
Yeah, it's the 17th, right.
Well, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Southie is,
You could have water first if you want.
Okay, we'll take a little drink. Southie is sort of a film that's really close to my heart. It's, a film that was shot in... Southie is a nickname for South Boston, which is a sort of Irish Catholic, sort of isolated community in Boston. And it's infamous for its, how do you say it, underworld type of stuff, and for its organized crime, and, you know, sort of the Irish mob is supposed to run the town, or allegedly, supposedly did run it. And I play a character who grew up in Southie and moved away to sort of get his life together. He was an alcoholic, and he returns for a wedding of a friend, but he returns to find his family just in a complete shambles. His mother's health is bad, his brothers are alcoholics and gambling, they're in serious debt, and his younger sister, who's played by Rose McGowan, who does an incredible job in the film, she's becoming an alcoholic and really fallen down. And you know, my character sort of left this lifestyle behind and just gotten on his own feet, but now he's sort of forced to stay in Southie and sort of try to lift his family up and put that weight on his shoulders. And slowly but surely a lot of his old habits sort of start to tempt him and pull him back in as the weight of his family gets greater and greater. And it was just the role of a lifetime for me.
Well, we do have a clip we can show of that movie, so we're going to take a look at Southie.
Okay. I'm trying. No.
I know you are, Danny. You're a good boy, Danny.
But being a good boy is not enough, you know? It's not going to pay the bills.
Sweetheart, you've done enough. Don't worry.
I'm going to get some money today, all right? Just hang in there.
Got that Boston accent there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Came right back to you, huh?
Yeah, it comes back from time to time. You got to be careful.
Well, what stands out most about your days of New Kids on the Block? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
What stands out the most? Not the trouble stuff. I don't know. You know, actually, that period of my life was just so fast, you know. I mean, probably the ultimate highlight was, I remember we did the Rock in Rio Festival, and I was a huge fan of Run DMC when I was young, and they were probably the most influential, like, musical group in my life growing up, and I got to perform Walk This Way with them on stage in Rio in front of, like, 200,000 people. I mean, that was probably the ultimate,
the highlight of the whole thing?
Yeah. I mean, my group did, like, a lot of things. I mean, we were really successful and stuff, but for me, that was, like, coming full circle, you know.
Right.
I mean, that was, like, the pinnacle.
So that's the stuff that you would miss from those days, but not the fame or the girls chasing you down the street?
I really don't miss that stuff.
No?
No, I mean...
There's still people hanging out at your house, right? Parked outside in your home in Boston?
Well, in my home in Boston, yeah, but they don't really know I live in L.A., so they don't show up here yet.
Don't say
I don't they know, I know. But, you know, I mean, the fame and stuff, it was fun. It was fun for a while. It's good for me to have experienced it then, to realize that it's not really, the fame is not what's important, you know. It's about what you do and what you bring, you know, to whatever it is that you do. I mean, and I've learned that hard work and dedication pays, and that's what I bring to everything that I do now.
That's what I understand from reading about you, that just whatever it is you're doing, you give it 150%. If it's acting, that's where your focus is.
Sure.
If it's producing music, that's what you focus on. So,
right.
And you have to be inspired, or else you just don't want to do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, money's great, but, you know, if you're not having fun making money, I mean, you know, what's the point?
Exactly.
I mean, you can have fun raising kids and being at home. I mean, I got money. That's not what I'm after. I mean,
right.
I just want to be inspired and challenged all the time.
Tell us what you're doing after Southie.
Well, I just finished 2 films. One is called The Bullfighter with Willem Dafoe and Michelle Forbes, and another film called The Altoona Riding Club with Robert Forster of Jackie Brown, most recently of Jackie Brown fame. And that's about it. Right now I'm just going to take a few weeks and enjoy the success of The Sixth Sense.
Not too long. We want to keep seeing you acting.
No, I'll keep it up. But,
okay, good.
You know.
It's great talking with you.
Thank you very
And the movie's
much.
terrific.
Thanks.
So go see The Sixth Sense, you guys, and don't go away. We're coming right back with stand-up comedian right after this.